You know what you're gonna say? I'm set up today, like I'm set on. Well, it's been a bit of a slow morning. It's still early yet. It's about 8 or 10 to 8. I'm gonna sit till at least 9, but we had some does work through earlier, and came in blind this morning, so I was trying to scout around a little bit, and they got my scent where I was walking around down there, and they were not having it. Could have shot every one of them though on the trail that they were on, so that's good. All right, we're getting some gear prepped up. This morning's hunt was sort of a bust. A little bit of action, but I think I was too deep. It was too far away from the food source. It was a blind sit, so I wasn't able to scout that much. So I poked around. Nothing too hot in there. And speaking of hot, it's getting warm, man. It's like 80. It's got to be over 80. It's maybe 82. But there is a big green field to the north side of this property. I'm gonna go in there, scout my way in, and set something up for the evening, and grab the binos and hopefully be able to glass something and find a target. So. Holy shit, we're on time. Actually a little early, but we're set up. I'm pretty pumped about tonight. I feel good about this spot. We got a perfect wind. It's hot, but I don't know, there's a good breeze. We're sitting right off the edge of a bean field, and you wouldn't have known from the interstate. I glassed it from the road way back there. It looked like the beans were all turned. Everything is really brown. This field must have been the last in. And you can see it's pretty green. So, I'm sure they're eating on that a little bit. We're literally probably two trees. There's 3 trees right here. Right in the middle of the complete open. So, 2 hedgerows intersect right here. And the best thing, you know what you're gonna say? I'm set up today, like I'm set on. I got the 25 spun around, and my primary shot is there's a scrape right at this junction, dude. It's perfect. That tree has a scrape on it. So, if anything works out, crosses this hedgerow on the way to those beans, done. Let's rock and roll, baby. It's been super slow. Only got about 40 minutes left. If there was going to be a big one to get up, it'd probably be right now, so.
But the way the wind was, I had to get kind of far off of where he was. So it's a poke to like the bed is. I can't shoot the bed, but if he comes in like downwind of the bed, I still will probably get like a 25 to 30 yard shot, dude.
It looked like it was kind of thick.
It's nasty. Well, the tree is thick. It's wide open in front of that. So I picked that tree. Like, dude, did you see that? Did I send you a picture of that little blowdown? Like, the creek is so thick and nasty. Anything with the east, nothing can get behind me for at least 80 yards.
Oh.
So like my wind is like
perfect
tomorrow morning. Tonight it was, dude, it was money. It would have been on. But I see another buck. I seen that white racked tall buck tonight. I don't know. I don't know what
sure
it is.
It's not the same one from the scrape?
I don't think so. This one's heavier. It's not like a big buck. It's probably like, I don't know, it's probably like 140s, but it's pretty.
Way heavier than that.
Way heavier, yeah.
Trying to debate what to do right now. We got some storms coming in, and the wind is picking up. The spot in the bottom is not going to be the best if the wind is above like 5 miles an hour, so it's kind of shitty. Not only that, these deer are likely to probably be off the food source a little earlier with this front coming through. That's supposed to hit like 8:39, so I don't know, we still might go for broke, but have to look for a different spot. I don't know.
We're set up. We're in the thick shit. Bunch of blowdowns, bet. The wind is a little funky. And the sky looks off, to say the least. That front is definitely pushing through. I think we might have some movement up here. All right, it's starting to thunder, and it's getting pretty dark. So I popped down, call it quits for this morning. Still pretty early, but I checked the radar and it looks gnarly, and I don't feel like getting soaked right now. So we're gonna bail out and take cover at the van. Do a little scouting on the way out. Dude, look at how freaking dark it is. It's getting. It's coming. We got out just in time.
Literally stepped into the van with the gear, and it started dumping.
Well, it's been a rough day, but it's pretty sick to end it like this. Didn't get out in a tree. Did some ripping around on the e-bike here, glass and field. I came around the backside through this service road, and I'm perched up on a little hill here, letting the sun go down, and I'm glassing the hay strip in between this giant bean field. So I'm hoping I get a glimpse of a rack tonight. It's a beautiful view, that's for sure. And hopefully it leads out to some, or hopefully it leads to some intel for the morning sit. So we'll see. All right. We're back in Iowa. We're set up on the side of this little draw. There's a creek bottom down here to my right. Bunch of standing corn up top. And we're kind of off to the side of a cut that kind of comes from the bottom up into the crops. Came in blind this morning and did a little scouting at Great Light. And I know we're in a good spot. There's got about probably 5 or 6 fresh rubs within shooting distance. We're like right in the shit right now, right on the main trail, like 3 yards off of it. About as up close and personal as you can get. But I don't know, the weather's been warm, and they don't seem to be moving really good. So he might have already went through here this morning and is back to bed. But we gotta, let's see if you can see this here. We got rub. Got some rubs down here. That's the trail. So we got a very small shooting lane. There's a creek crossing. Creek crossing behind me. That comes and shoots right up here. It's really thick. But I know there's a buck coming through here. I'd just really like to at least get a glimpse of what he is. Even if he doesn't take this trail, so let's see. Alright, I just got down right as I lowered my bow. Actually had a small buck run in. But I don't think they're moving late. I think that was just happenstance, so I'd rather get down, get some scouting in at this time, and then be out of here early so I can get back in for the evening. I'm going to sit this again. Just even as the sun came up more and more, I'm seeing more rub, more signs just even from the tree. So I'm going to go investigate a little bit and try and figure out a way we can make this work tonight with the wind. But check this shit out. All right, we got a rub right here. Obviously, that tree is scored up. This tree right here, right above the creek. We got another nice big rub right there. Got some good grooves in there. This is definitely another rub. This is definitely a decent sized buck, I would think. So this is a super crucial part, I think, of being successful out there, man, is practice it in your gear. Reeled them. Boom, baby. Training for those East Coast bucks, man. It's important to get a target that's going to be the size of what you're shooting. Little tiny dog-sized deer. What do you think? Can we hunt it? Look at this freaking tree I'm sitting in. All right, we're set up. Check this out. You couldn't get in a tree like this with any other deer. This is what we designed shit for. To hunt where you need to hunt. I'm sitting right on the mouth of a ravine here, in between two big cornfields. just found a pretty interesting spot. This is a buck bed right on this little creek here. So it actually is butted up to one of these big root clusters, little bluff there, and he's got it wore down right there, a perfect visual advantage point to this bottom. So I'll show you what that looks like here. All right, right here we got a big open flat bottom, creek bottom here. A little creek running through here. Well, if you can see here, there's kind of a trail, or there's a bench up there, up here, and there's a secondary trail that pops down low. There's a couple beat creek crossings right there, but check this out. So right butted up against here, it's a big buck bed. Now, this right here is a really, really typical scenario, great scenario for deer in this region, in this bluffy stuff. So right here, as you can see, pretty big size, all matted down. And he has his back right up against that giant tree in the boulder there. So any predators are coming from the top, he'll be able to smell them, and they won't even know he's here if they're running that top ridge. If they come down, he'll see them, be able to bust right across the creek and be out of here in seconds. But he can just post up there all day and watch this whole bottom, and he's invincible. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna check the wind for tomorrow, and depending on what it is, I'm gonna try and get anywhere that's gonna give me a visual of this main travel corridor and possibly even that bed. So even if I can't shoot it, I just really want to know what's using that bed so I don't burn a bunch of time. Now, if I found out, or when I do find out if he's a shooter, then it's a little different story. I'll start to dissect it a little more. But like right now, the main goal is trying to figure out what that deer is. So. Now that is fresh. We actually got a couple of fresh scrapes in here. This is good. Little view from the back here. This is what you want a scrape to look like. Shit was hammered. Gotta love rubbed up cedars. Nothing showed up tonight. Got in late, couple does, but just kind of burned tonight, just to get some glassing in, to bide our time for the morning. Tomorrow morning we're gonna be in the shit, man. The sign I found, got a tree picked out, and it's gonna go down. All right, just getting back to the van. Getting some stuff prepped. Tonight was a little bit of a bust, but was just really trying to burn the evening and get some glassing in proximity to like where that sign was found. So after I found that stuff this morning, um, did a lot of digging in to around the surrounding area. So went and checked all the main big egg fields to see what was in there, see if anything was getting cut yet. Looked at the hay strips, looked at a lot of the fringe, and that was what tonight's sit was about. Was just hunting a food source relatively close to that sign. So I'm still not sure where the destination is, but now I think I got the bed figured out. Um, and I found that secondary travel corridor. So I've been hunting that first one, that rub line, up the ridge to the west, no, to the east, and now I found that secondary travel pattern to the south. So he could be hitting a few different food sources or different times a day. Maybe he's hooking around. Maybe he's going out in the evening to the east, and then he does big loop, comes back in from the south, which would make sense if he's coming into that bed. So I feel good about tomorrow. Real good. All right, it's about 7:30. It's getting to be prime time. I'm sitting on those two scrapes in sort of a narrow little draw. Um, there's a bead trail right here with those scrapes on it, and it's cold, it's crisp, it's clear, it feels damn good. With any luck, a good one's gonna come and freshen those things up on his way back to bed. Stay tuned. Got that offset bracket working like a champ. Got the dubs. This is where those two scrapes are. Got a main trail coming right over here. Also, another one coming down off this ridge. Well, it was definitely a good morning. Had some good action. Bunch of deer. More deer than shit maybe all season. There was a there's a few spikes. A button, couple spikes, and they were all sparring out in the pasture there, pushing some does around, so they were just jacked up with this cold temperature. So that was pretty cool. They pushed some does around. I'm sitting in a kind of a little transition in between two bedding areas and a bunch of food. It's tricky playing these bottoms with the wind, but it was crystal clear. The winds were under 5 miles an hour, and we pulled it off for most of the morning. At the end here, one of these old nannies up top, she cracked me. There's one little spot down off this back ridge that where my wind's blowing, and we're so low here. Shit, it's 9:30 and there's still not sun hitting us, so you don't really get too much of a pull, so you gotta just kind of make do with what you got here. But all in all, it went well. Had a buck came through, we'd have smoked them. Could have shot a bunch of does. But definitely a little discouraging. I was really thinking we'd see a buck this morning, but so I'm gonna go pop up top here, check the field edge a little bit for a possible evening hunt, and we'll definitely be back here at some point in time when the wind allows, because it was a good sit. So here's my setup. 2 sticks high. Kind of see what's going on here. Right in that little cluster up there. So, got a good, there's my trail, about 10 yards away. Looks like it's a little higher than it is right now because we're kind of in this little bottom, but this would be an example of me getting a little higher to get more of a thermal pull, but also there was such good cover right here that I wanted that. And I got a little hole right there trimmed where I'm shooting down. All right, I just got out of the stand after them coyotes ran through. We still got some light left, but usually when things like that happen, I use them as a chance to just get down real quick and get a clean exit. I mean, there's only about 15 minutes left, and one thing I really hate is getting pinned down at last light and maybe having a buck hang around or keeping you in the tree for a while. I really don't like to give up my tree locations, you know? Like, it's one thing. It's like, especially if they're within the area, I would rather get down and bump them on the ground than bump them or get busted up in the tree. I just don't like to give away that location, especially if it's a target buck, because if he does see me up in the tree or getting down, in my opinion, that tree is done and you're screwed. So if it's a good spot that you like, that you know you might revisit, you know, yeah, I'm pulling down my stand, but like, that's a tree that if I get another northwest, I will hunt at some point. So I don't want to mess that tree up at all. So just kind of a tip there. And yeah, I know you can get more intel in this last couple minutes too, but I'd much rather get the clean exit. It was dead, a lot of coyotes in the draw below me, so I think they were just pushing some deer. But it's another day. Another benefit is with this 5 minutes of light, 10 minutes of light that I got, I'm actually gonna dip over and glass a couple fields on the way out. See if I can't put eyes on something nearby, because where I was at was dead. So, see if we can see something.